This is the Washington Times front page for Monday, August 16th, 2021. Thanks for starting your week with us. I'm George Gerbo. We start with the unmitigated disaster that is happening in Afghanistan. The government built and supported there by American soldiers and staff over the course of 2 decades following the 9/11 attacks collapsed in barely a day at the hands of the Taliban. National Security Team Leader Guy Taylor, Pentagon correspondent Ben Wolfgang, and political reporter Seth MacLachlan have the fallout in Kabul and in Washington. The Taliban's victory in the country came as Afghan government President Ashraf Ghani fled the country without putting up a fight. As Kabul has fallen to the Islamic insurgents, chaos has taken over. The U.S. military is scrambling to evacuate embassy and other American personnel from Hamid Karzai International Airport in Kabul, where other Afghans are also trying to board planes to leave the country. The Biden administration issued statements Sunday night asserting the perimeter of the airport was secured by the U.S. military, but there are reports, including from Reuters, that at least 5 people were killed as hundreds scrambled to forcibly board planes. The development sent the White House into full damage control mode, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken appearing on news talk shows. Blinken rejected comparisons to the chaotic American pullout from Vietnam nearly half a century ago, even though the images of U.S. helicopters chaotically evacuating people from the embassy's rooftop in Saigon then are eerily similar to what's happening in Kabul now. Just last week, U.S. intelligence officials estimated the Afghan capital could fall within several months, but it took only a matter of days after the militants captured other key cities around Afghanistan amid the collapse of Afghan security forces. The Associated Press characterized the Afghan capital as being gripped by panic, with many Afghans fearing the Taliban could reimpose the kind of brutal rule that, among much else, all but eliminated women's rights the last time it ruled the country, from the late 1990s until the U.S.-led invasion in 2001. A reminder that you can find all these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. Don't have access to the Times yet? Visit WashingtonTimes.com/George and get 25% off your annual subscription. In New York, incoming Democratic Governor Kathy Hochul is expected to face challengers from the left next year as potential rivals pour over her past positions that were out of step with progressives in the party. Dave Boyer reports Hochul has announced her intention to run for a full term next year. She'll become New York's first female governor when she takes the oath of office next week, assuming the office after the resignation of Governor Andrew Cuomo. Among the Democrats who haven't ruled out a primary challenge to Hochul are New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio, State Attorney General Letitia James, and State Senator Alessandra Biaggi of the Bronx. During her brief stint in Congress, Hochul had a more moderate streak, including voting with Republicans to hold then Attorney General Eric Holder in contempt for refusing to cooperate in an investigation of the botched Fast and Furious operation. And finally, Mark Kellner looks at the fundraising prowess of the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. The group, which styles itself as the Fellowship, raised $118 million in 2019 using TV ads, infomercials, and direct mail advertisements. The 38-year-old charity has constructed more than 5,500 bomb shelters in Israel, delivered food packages to older Holocaust survivors in Israel, and helped thousands of Jews emigrate from Ukraine and elsewhere. Find all of today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or on the Washington Times app, and follow us for free on your favorite podcast platforms. Just search Washington Times. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.